All right, hello, what's up? It's Gokuma. Welcome to the channel. And today I'm gonna be playing a little bit of Pokemon trading card game too. Unfortunately, the final day of my little break that I had, um, yeah, no, like they totally got fucking away from me. Um, I woke up pretty late and then got out of bed late. Um, I don't know. I think a lot of it is because it's fucking winter. And it's like I just want to stay in bed and just like chill and read stuff. So that's what happened. Like there's this book that I've been reading. I'm not going to talk about it, but for reasons. Um but I basically finished it today. But there's like a couple bonus chapters that they got to finish reading. So I got to go handle that one of these days. Um, yeah, and then I worked out for a bit, and then also there's this one dude who like if you watch wrestling and stuff, like you might know him. Like his name is Chris Van Vliet, I think his name is, and he makes um like podcasts, like interviews and stuff with um typically with other wrestlers, and if it's not with another wrestler, it's with someone to talk about wrestling with. So it's like 99% of his stuff, I feel like it is about wrestling. I think from time to time he might get someone, and it's not about wrestling. Oh, there's my phone charger. I was looking for my phone charger. Anyways, but yeah, he does do other interviews and stuff, like stuff for like sports, things like that. I think on occasion, like he does get, like maybe he'll get, like, like an MMA person or something on his thing. Um Hold on real quick. I need water. Okay, I didn't realize I needed water until like I fucking started talking. Um anyways, um but yeah, he does um like it's mostly like interviews and stuff with like with wrestlers, and he's had like a few, for me anyways, like a few big ones. I mean, they're all good. Like he always gets like really good people, um you know um um from like different companies. Because what's cool though is that he's like, I feel like he's one of the few guys, because I mean, I don't know if WWE changed their tune about this, but I don't know. Like I remember, like for example, like Vicky Guerrero, like she was doing like a podcast thing, and then this was like, I think before she got hired by like AEW, and she was doing interviews with like WWE people, but then she started doing interviews with like AEW people, and like WWE at the time like were not happy about that, and they were like, yeah, no, you can't have any more WWE people, and I think we're cutting you out of the deal and stuff. And it wasn't just her, it was like there was like other people where it's like, oh, if you want to do, like podcasts for, WWE people, you can only do WWE people. You can't do people from other organizations. So But I don't know if WWE either changed their tune with that, or like Chris Van Vliet just gets the fucking pass. He just gets the fucking pass because um this dude is, as far as like wrestling podcasters and interviewers go, like he's one of the biggest. If anything, he's probably the biggest one, and he's been doing this for years, and he knows a lot of people. He has a lot of connections. If he doesn't get to interview WWE people, well, you know um he has a bunch of other people that that he can do, and he can make a really good interview and podcast with just about anyone. It doesn't matter if they're if they're part of the biggest wrestling company. It doesn't matter if they're independent. It doesn't even matter if it's even about wrestling. Like, he's really really good at his job. Like, he's probably like one of the best interviewers, because like he just like do just like ask questions, or just like helps try to like add to the topic to get the person that he's interviewing, that he's talking with, to go and just talk. He like very rarely like talks, like talks over them. He just, and he's very good at like segueing to, it's like he'll ask like one question, and they'll get into like a topic about something, and then he'll ask questions related to that topic, and then even when they kind of shift to like a different topic, it's like it's because there was something that was mentioned in that last answer, or something. So yeah, he's like really he's really really good with his interviews. And for the most part, like I usually don't listen to to the full thing. I usually listen to a lot of clips. And there are ones that I would like to watch like the full. There's quite a few that I would like to watch like the full podcast of it, but I usually don't have the time for that. Um, but especially because it's like, it's not just audio, like it's video, and it's like I want to see like, these wrestlers like expressions and their reactions, as they're telling their stories. So yeah, he's had a good few that's been really interesting, like Rhea Ripley. That one I think I mostly watched. I don't think I finished it. But I did start it, and I got like pretty far into it, because like Rhea Ripley is like one of my favorite wrestlers. And he's had John Cena, but this isn't the first time he's had John. This was actually like the second time, and this was part of like John Cena's um like going away, retirement tour. Um and and then today was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like he has an interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin that I think he filmed like about a month ago. And it's like, oh shit, like I have to watch this one. I didn't finish it either. I think I got like halfway through. Hopefully I'll get around to finishing it. But yeah, it's yeah, I mean, he just had like some really big interviews, and I mean, getting Stone Cold Steve Austin is like probably like the biggest one. And it's not like Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't do like interviews or whatever. It's like he does from time to time, but not with like as much frequency um as you think he might. as you know, a retired wrestler and such. Um, but yeah, like to get Stone Cold Steve Austin is a big deal because I mean Stone Cold is you know like I don't know, to me he's like one of the biggest wrestlers like ever. You know, I know like we can throw out there Hulk Hogan. We can throw out there like John Cena. But for me, I feel like the difference between between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan and John Cena, well, you know, we okay, so we look at like Hulk Hogan. Um, you know, like Hulk Hogan definitely put definitely helped put wrestling like on the map. You know, like he he just became like pop culture. You know, he made wrestling like mainstream. Um, and got everyone, you know, at that time for a lot of people interested in wrestling, because of Hulk Hogan. You know, but it doesn't mean that like we were all like Hulk Hogan fans. Like, you know, I've been watching wrestling since, you know, for as long as I can remember. And Hulk Hogan was never like my favorite wrestler. Like, yeah, I was a kid and I used to like cheer for, you know, in his matches and stuff, you know, like cheered for him to beat like, you know, I remember his feud with like Yokozuna, you know, his feud with Undertaker, Andre the Giant, you know, and of course like, you know, wanting him to win these matches, but by no means was like he was like my favorite wrestler. In fact, to be honest, I think growing up, I don't think I really had like as a young child, like I don't think I necessarily had a favorite wrestler. Um, to be honest, like I had people that I liked. Um, you know, but I don't think I've ever really had like a favorite wrestler when I was a kid. And I don't think that that started happening until, you know, I got like a little bit older, like maybe closer to high school, where, you know, I started having like, you know, wrestlers who, um you know, because of like, you know, like just their entire package, like just, you know, how they looked, how they wrestled, their entrances, and what they've, you know, how they wrestle and what they're able to do and accomplish. um you know, so I think I didn't start having favorite wrestlers, you know, until like maybe around high school, like definitely around when we got to the time of like, you know, like ECW and stuff, Attitude Era. So of course, you know, when you had like Stone Cold Steve Austin, like, oh, for sure he became like one of my favorites, like by far. um you know, it's because it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. And so anyways, going back to Hulk Hogan, he helped get eyes on wrestling. Um but overall, like he didn't help the industry itself, like you know, like just I don't know, like just be able um to take like his influence and help the, you know, younger generations coming up, stuff like that. um and you know, I'm not saying that maybe like Stone Cold did too much of that, but um you know, but it does sound like he does have like a lot of conversations with younger wrestlers. It's just we don't know. You know, he doesn't like, you know, put that out there or anything, and we know he's not actively working within the WWE or anything like that. um But for Hulk Hogan, like wrestling at when wrestling hit it big, like when it hit mainstream, at that time, like wrestling was slowly getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Um, and it's just Hulk Hogan and WWE just all of a sudden like shot that shit like through the roof. But it was getting bigger and bigger. It's just you needed someone, um or some people, you needed a Hulk Hogan and you needed a Vince McMahon. You needed a star and you needed a promoter. And to take this thing to the next level. And that's what they did. Um what makes Stone Cold different than Hogan um was that by the time we got to the around to the Attitude Era with the WWE, uh you know Hogan had already jumped ship to WCW, and for quite a bit they were doing pretty great, until like they just destroyed that shit. It just and unfortunately it's like it's their own fault. It's like no one did anything. like like WCW would still be around, if people were like just level-headed and not stupid and selfish. But that's yeah, WCW, like they kind of just destroyed themselves. WWE had like very little to do about it. Like, yeah, they had a lot to do with like taking their ratings and stuff like that, but WCW could have survived that, no problem. But it was just everything else that was going on for them, like especially like behind the scenes, that started bleeding into the product itself. And that like that really screwed things over for them, and that's why mainly like they went down. And but anyways, so at the time WCW is the biggest wrestling company. They're kicking WWE's ass in the ratings and whatnot. um and Stone Cold Steve Austin. So the difference between him and Hulk Hogan was like, Hulk Hogan was able to push wrestling to the next level as it was growing. It wasn't like wrestling was in a slump or anything like that. Like no, this shit was growing. Like you had like a bunch of like fucking regional promotions and shit like that, because back in the day, wrestling was very regional. And you had promotions like just all over the country. And now wrestling, other than the independents, but now wrestling is nationalized. And that's where you want your shit to be. You want, it's even at an independent level, it's still nationalized in a way, because now it's like, we got YouTube and stuff, and they can air their shit on YouTube, to actually all over the world. So now it's like not even nationalized. Now it's like globalized. Um, um, but yeah, so Stone Cold Steve Austin, he was able to take a company that that wasn't really doing that great, who lost a lot of their um talent to WCW, especially Hulk Hogan. And then WCW, not only that, like they were producing their either their own talent like Goldberg, or just talent that have just been working in WCW for a long time, but got like really huge, like Sting. Um, so Stone Cold Steve Austin, he helped, like I said, he helped take a company that really wasn't doing too hot, and not only like fucking elevated it to the point where they started kicking WCW's ass, but also just like really, if Hulk Hogan like took it to the mainstream, well, like Stone Cold went further than that. If anything, like he made wrestling, because there was always, before Stone Cold Steve Austin, there was always like kind of like a little dorky, nerdy side to wrestling. And then when we get to around the Attitude Era, that was when like wrestling was cool. Like it was starting to be cool to watch wrestling. Um, and that's what Stone Cold helped do. Like that's what he made wrestling cool. But not only that, like he elevated an entire company, like took it out of out of the slump that it was in. Um, and yeah, it's just overall like what he did for WWE not only helped WWE, but it helped wrestling in general. And what he did like influenced and inspired what like what other people had to do, like like people really had to like push themselves to be at that level, and for a lot of people like they did, and they did it not by emulating Stone Cold or anything like that. Like they found their own way, they found their own niche to like to attach themselves to, um to also just be part of that same era, so you have D-Generation X, with Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and then you have The Rock, um Mick Foley, just the list goes on with what people had to do to like really like just push themselves. um and then John Cena, like by the time he came into WWE, like it was like basically like the end of the Attitude Era. um so he came into things when like by this point there's no more WCW, there's no more ECW, TNA had just started. So and of course, obviously, there's no AEW, and Ring of Honor is, still, like a small indie company. Um, so he got in when like the business was good. Um, but again, it's like kind of similar to like Hulk Hogan. Like he was able to take something that was, that was already big, um, and brought and helped bring like more eyes and more attention like to to the product itself, and then helped maintain that for a really long time. Because if there wasn't a John Cena, who knows what other wrestlers might be like, you know um Edge, Batista, Randy Orton. Like who knows like what their careers would have been like without someone like a John Cena who was a big star and who everyone had to like elevate themselves to get themselves to that level. Um and so yeah, so I mean, and then John Cena, like he kept interest going. He was a big hit with the kids and the, like young children and some adults and of course girls. Um, so yeah, he helped maintain that for WWE, because without that, like who knows, like where WWE would be. Who knows, like, okay, well, who would really be that big star to to really keep WWE going for years to come. Um, so um for the last few years, like we've had Roman Reigns. Even though with Roman Reigns, he's been part of WWE for a long time. Of course, they've pushed him like heavily. But I didn't quite feel like he, he really became like the face of the company until his whole tribal chief thing. When he started doing that, then I felt like, this is Roman Reigns. Not whatever the fuck we were getting the last few years, where it's just we got someone who, like, I don't know. It's just I just feel like he did not have a character. Like he didn't have a character. Like it was like he's just coming out and like being him. And it's like you could say the same thing about like John Cena, but John Cena, like he still had, he still had catchphrases. He was great on the mic. He had his ways of saying things. um like and it's all stuff that like that stands out, that's part of the character. But with Roman Reigns, it was like, he was the of everyone from the Shield, he was the only person like dressing like he was still in the Shield. And then meanwhile, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins like moved away from that, and he's like still using their music, and he's still dressing like he never left the Shield. And like, yeah, it's just he just never had like his own character. And then he comes back from his, I think it was when he was battling leukemia. And he still came back as the previous Roman Reigns, but like stuff was starting to change. Like, he was starting to have like like this a different mentality and stuff. Like, it was just like, initially it was like, wreck everyone and leave. And it's like, okay, that's actually kind of cool. And his attitude started shifting a bit. And then as we went further, like all of a sudden, like we just had the tribal chief. And it's like, this is Roman Reigns. This is the character of Roman Reigns. And it's pretty fucking great. And then he was able to, because now at this time John Cena is, like he hasn't quite retired from wrestling yet, but he's kind of stepped away a bit. He's doing TV, movies, whatever. So now Roman Reigns became the guy. And with the tribal chief thing, like, well, rightfully so. And he's been running that shit for years. But now, he himself is getting into movies. He's gonna be Akuma in the Street Fighter movie. And who knows where we go from here, with that. So, there's going to have to be someone fuck. I guess I was take the reins, okay? Someone's gonna have to fucking take the reins. It just fucking came up to my head. It's like I'm just talking. It's like, oh, someone's gonna have to take the. And I just literally fucking talked about whatever. Fuck you, okay? But yeah, so hold on real quick. Okay, so um um yeah, uh and I don't know, like who knows who's the next person gonna be. It's just you never know, especially because we don't have a Vince McMahon who like is gonna look at someone and be like, we're gonna push you. We're just gonna fucking push you. Whether people like it or not. We're gonna fucking push you. Because that's what happened with John Cena and Roman Reigns. But of course, like with John Cena, like, you know, like everything was fine. But with Roman Reigns, like it took him a good while. Because I think by the time they were like, okay, we're pushing John Cena already developed his character. Roman Reigns, like, no. He didn't get that chance or opportunity to do that. It was just like, hey, like you're gonna be pushed. And it's like, okay, cool, but like I don't have anything going on for it's like they're like, that's okay. That's all right. And it's like, no, that's not all right. He needs something. And now he does. Now he has like the fucking tribal chief. Which is a great like fucking character, and he's held a title for years, and it's crazy. So um yeah, and who knew that was going to happen with Roman Reigns? Who knew John Cena was going to be the guy? Who knew fucking stunning Steve Austin was going to be the guy? But now where we are in need of a guy, who that guy will be, like I don't know. I don't know. He may not be in the WWE yet. This could be someone in training. This could be someone in NXT. This could be someone already in the main roster. Because you don't know who the guy is until like he just becomes the guy. And that's how it always is. Like, I remember when Stone Cold Steve Austin was the ringmaster. Who knew that the ringmaster would become Stone Cold Steve Austin and be the guy? When John Cena, when he came out and he was like ruthless aggression and had that match with Kurt Angle, and then developed his you know his rap gimmick, his Dr. Thugonomics, but working as a heel. Like who knew? He was gonna be he was gonna be the guy. And with Roman Reigns, it was like, yeah, we're told he's the guy, but but who knew that he would actually manifest as that guy by being the tribal chief? So, it's just we don't know. Like we don't know who is going to be the guy. Like who is going to be the person who one day comes out, who has the right like entrance, the right look, the right style, like wrestling style, and also um the mic skills to be that guy. And like I said, Um, it could be someone who's not even into WWE yet. It could be someone who's wrestling in the indies. It could be someone that's training. It could be someone, like I said, like could be someone that's in NXT. It could be someone that's in the main roster right now, or it could be someone that's in TNA. It could be someone that's in AEW. Who might make the jump to WWE. Like, could be a Mexican wrestler, could be a Japanese. Like, we don't fucking know. We don't know. We never know until it happens, because none of us knew Stunning Steve Austin, fucking Doctor of Thugonomics, or the Big Dog, what would become what they would become today. And yeah, and that's how it's always worked. That's how it always is. Um, so we'll just have to wait and see. It's not going to be instantaneous. It's going to take time. The guy, the perfect person, just doesn't just show up when they're looking for that person to like really like attach to and to be the face of the company. Like, they eventually they're just made and built somehow into the role. And we'll have to see who that person could like possibly be. Like, you can make your guesses now because you have a lot of like talented people out there, just within the wrestling industry in general. But we won't know for sure. So, but we're definitely like in need of younger younger talent for sure. We have a lot of older wrestlers, and there's quite a few wrestlers that are getting to the point of like retirement. We just lost John Cena. Sometime this year we're going to lose AJ Styles. Sometime in the near future we're going to lose Randy Orton. So a lot of these guys that have been around for a really long time in the WWE, like, they're going to be taking a step back. They're going to be retiring, and we got to be prepared for that. So anyways, all right, I talked too much again. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to I'm going to start playing. This isn't going to be a long stream. I'll probably play for about like an hour or so, and then call it a night. Because yeah, it's just and then also I was watching like WWE also earlier today, and so yeah, so I'm gonna get myself comfortable here. So yeah, so the day just really got away from me. It really got away from me pretty bad. And then I had to step out for a bit because um I I needed milk and stuff, so let me check on my stream real quick. Make sure everything is good. Okay, everything seems good to go. Oh, okay. Ah, goddamn. So yeah, I don't really have to do this. Like, it's not necessary. But I'm just trying to unlock more cards. You know, even though I don't think there's like really too many cards that will help me, because like for the most part, because I'm using a firefighting deck, which is like what you basically start with in the game. It's just I've been trying to like just make it better. You know, I would like to just have like one or the other, like either just have a fighting deck or have a fire deck, but I don't have like enough good cards on like either side. You know, like maybe with fighting, maybe at this point, like I can kind of do, but I don't know. Like most of the other fighting Pokemon like, kind of suck. Same thing with the fire, like, yeah. So it's like maybe I can do a fighting deck. Whoa. Oh shit, okay. I have no idea what the fuck happened there. I thought my shit froze. That never happened before. I can't use that. Oh shit, he uses Ember. Fuck. The reason why I'm saying fuck is because you know, it's like every time I use it, like if I use Ember after this card, a fire card. Yes. Motherfucker. I need that to be ahead so I can fucking look for Rapidash. You son of a bitch. I don't know. I want to see if I can make like a fighting deck. You bitch. This motherfucker, I swear. I just need one more turn to kill, but I can't do anything. You motherfucker. Jesus. There's nothing I can do. Because when they're paralyzed, I don't think I can retreat. Yeah, so like literally I can't fucking do anything. Finally, Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can make a fighting deck and go with that. Let's say I can do a fight, so let's get rid of these fires. So stupid. I mean, this one's okay, I guess. All right, now I feel better having a deck where I'm just using like one type. I don't in any game I don't like multi-type decks. You know, like in Magic the Gathering, like I only like sticking to one type because that way, if I get mana or in this game's case energy, you know, I know I can use it towards something. See what I can do. You motherfuck. Oh, I don't think I'm even like this. I don't even think I have an Alakazam. What the fuck? Why is this a thing? You bitch. I have no idea what the fuck that means. Oh shit. Alright, hopefully he doesn't get another Pokemon next turn. Okay, he doesn't. Ah, shit. Whew. Okay. Because if he drew 8 cards, like, for sure, he was gonna have to... He was gonna draw a fucking Pokemon. Put to the bench. But now I can end this game next turn because he doesn't have any Pokemon on his bench. What the fuck was the point of that? Like, just to give me, like, fucking 2 packs? Oh, you bitch. You bitch. You bitch. Jesus, what the fuck? I just want to kill this one fucking Gastly. And then I don't think... Yeah. Because even if I switch to Mankey, he can't do a lot of damage because he has resistance. Yeah, nah. My only chance is to hit him with too much out. This is, yeah. This is annoying. So that was for nothing? What the fuck? Now his attack goes through. I hate this game. So, oh, that... Man. Okay, that sucks. I didn't realize... Yeah. This is really dumb. I hate this. Because now I can't retreat because I have to. Yeah, it's not worth it to try to retreat. Only 10? Jesus. I hate this. I hate everything about this. Alright, this is what I'm gonna do. Because the game wants to be fucking cute. Wait, so now I'm confused? God damn it. What was the point of that? Alright, hold on. And it didn't even kill him. Like, if it killed him, that would have been cool, but... I'm gonna see if I can... If this really happens at random. Okay. Dude, I can't believe, like, he has a fucking resistance of 30. Fucking bitch. Shit, I didn't mean to do that. I'm wondering if, like, the game already decided what you're going to get, like, at the start of your turn. Because so far, that's, like, 3 tails in a row. That's 4. That's 5. Yeah, it does not want... Yeah, it's as if it's already decided. Like, by the time the turn started. That whatever I flip next is gonna be a tails. That's kind of cheap. That it doesn't just randomize, like, then and there. That it, like, it actually makes the decision already. Yeah, I'll try one more time, but I do not think it's gonna give me a heads. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. The game actually already decided that whatever I flip next was gonna be a tails. That's some shit. No, it wouldn't have mattered because it gets to prevent attacks. This is a really annoying fucking fight. Wait, isn't it always, like... Alright, if heads during opponent's next turn... Oh, okay. That's Or do I have to flip a coin? Because they didn't get to flip a coin. I thought it was on them. The game just wants to give me tails. Like, it does not want to give me heads. Oops. Or do I have to flip, like, 2 coins now? That is something. So I have to do the 25th. So this is gonna end up being the last match that I do today, because like this fight is taking forever. So now the game does not want to give me tails. Isn't that interesting? It gave me like a billion fucking tails, and now the game's like, nah. Look at this shit. This is such fucking bullshit. Dude. Yeah, no, now I know this game is cheating. This game is fucking cheating. Because before, it just gave me, like, tails after tails after tails after tails. And then, now it's like, oh, okay, now we're just gonna give you a bunch of heads. Yep. This is some bullshit. I can't do anything. Use Master Ball. Great, I got 2 cadavers to deal with. Finally, Jesus. What bullshit is this? Now he's fucking confused. Great. Nope, and we're back to the tails. Before the game just was giving me heads, now we're back to this shit. Alright, there's something I'm gonna try to do. I don't know if it's gonna break the game. So I could fucking end this in one go. Oh, okay, it didn't break the game. Oh, that's gonna be cheap. That's gonna be cheap. Because I thought, like, I figured because, like, he couldn't die. Like, he's supposed to die, that's the whole point. But he can't die. But I do take, yeah, because I think it showed that, like, my Pokemon took damage too. So yeah, I can't be too cheap with that. Because if not, like, I'll kill my own Pokemon. All that for, like, one fucking pack. Okay, I'll guess I'll duel this fucker. And then after him out, I'm gonna have to call it a night, because it's getting late. Oh shit. Whew. Right. Stephanie should fucking be the fucking gym leader. She was fucking annoying. Not that this matters. Do I even have a fucking Voltorb? I don't even recall having a fucking Voltorb. Oh yeah, I do. I only got one. Can I talk to him? Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna stop here because unfortunately it's getting late. I really wish I could have finished this game within the last few days because originally that was the plan. I thought I was gonna have, after my weekend trip, you know, even if I didn't have time on Sunday, because I did come back late, I thought I would have more time between, you know, like the following 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but I really didn't. I think Monday I didn't play at all because I was binge watching Stranger Things. Tuesday I did play, play a few hours, but I couldn't play any more than that because I had plans. And then today, unfortunately, yeah, today just completely got away from me. I was busy taking care of other stuff, working out. I had to step out for a bit, and yeah. So, um, as far as the rest of the week goes, and we do have a long weekend coming up, I shouldn't have any plans. I'll probably do kickboxing and work out and stuff. But hopefully, like, I can make some time to sit and play this fucking game, and hopefully, before the end of the next weekend, I can finish this fucking game. But, alright, yeah, that's gonna be it for me for now. So, have a good night, or whatever, and hopefully see you next